Hey guys, it's been a minute. I just want to take the time to do a video on specifically what or if you guys are utilizing the storage compartments available in these grips. This is a Magpul MOE, super popular, very common. Like if you get a Palmetto State lower, typically you will see these available when they come on them. So this is kind of the entry, just cheap one. I like them. They're still a good quality and overall size. I have slightly larger hands and they fit well. And then this is a BCM. I like this one. It's a more vertical grip, so it's worked out well for me. It's very comfortable. Again, it's more so I'm going over the storage of these or what I'm storing in them and kind of asking what you guys are storing in them. So they both obviously function differently. With the Magpul, right, if you can see, there's a little tab here. It's not terrible to get off. The only downside to them, depending on if you're looking at which one to get, this is nice if you don't have a glove on. If you have a gloved hand and you're trying to get in here, getting your finger on that with a gloved hand is not very easy. But this one here, this lower, is for somewhat of an SPR build that I have. And then if I can get a hold of mine, shake these down there. This is kind of what I have in there. So in the first bag here, I always have earplugs in there, just because if I'm out gonna do some shooting and I forget to bring some ear pro along, I have something with me that's better than a cotton ball or shoving a stick in my ear, right? And then backup batteries. For this one, has the SPR build has a red dot top mounted on a rifle scope, so this way I can swap out batteries if that red dot goes out, and I can get ones in there. And then I have one here. This has got all the wrenches for like just the different attachments for the scope mount, for the ability to re-zero on there. Obviously this bag is completely shot, so I'm actually gonna ditch this one today here, but this is the wrench for re-zeroing. And so I have all kind of the necessary wrenches that I typically need if I needed to do like a field repair or just tighten up some of the attachments on the gun itself. So I like to store those. These tighten down the anti-lock pins or the lock pins on the trigger. So need two of them, one for each side if you're going to get a good torque on them. But that's kind of what I carry in this one in particular. Like I said, I'm going to ditch that bag. These, I'm sure you can pick them up on Amazon for dirt cheap. I don't know the overall size. It's this might be 1.5 to 2 inches by 2.5 to 3. But I also save these, like if you get some Magpul accessories, these will come in those Magpul accessory kits, just like with the screws or the wrenches sometimes. And so I always hold on to them. It's kind of nice. I like doing that as compared to open this up and all the wrenches and everything just falls out and goes everywhere. So I strongly recommend, if you don't store them that way, this is a nice way to do it. The other thing I do with the CR2032s, these are Energizer, and I will leave them in their original packaging, right? But because they're kind of vacuum sealed, I'll cut around that vacuum seal so that it keeps any moisture that if it were to get into the Ziploc, it keeps it away and keeps the batteries protected so that I don't have any additional moisture that might come in contact with that. So if that's something you haven't done or haven't thought about, I like doing that just to protect that overall. And then for the BCM, this is a kind of a 2-finger. These are nice just because if you have gloves, you can get your hand on it and pop it open, right? This one, it's got a rubber seal all the way around it. I'm not going to say it is waterproof. I haven't tested it because technically water could get in up here, and that there's not a rubber gasket on the the screw that comes in and holds the trigger to the lower. There's no rubber seal there, so water could technically come in that way if it doesn't come through the lower side. But same thing here, just gotta kind of work it down. They drop out. Same thing, wrenches. And then this one, if you see my videos, I got that Vortex AMG. It would be the same if you had like an EOTech running on there where they run the CR123s. But I also have that Streamlight ProTech single long gun flashlight. And so the nice part is that I can store one of these, and depending on if one goes out, I have a battery that I utilize. I could probably get a second battery in here. I haven't decided if I would do that or not. But you know, I have them. Again, I store it in with the earbuds because I don't want something metal to come in contact and drain the battery somehow that way. But again, extra wrenches for some of the attachments to be able to do field repairs or retorque anything down. Last thoughts on it, really, with the Magpoles, if you haven't seen them, they do make the bottom plate where you can get oil, a little oil bottle that'll pop in there, and then that slides in, and you have extra oil for the firearm. Or I think they have them where they do the batteries, like CR123s, and there's I think a wrench that goes on there. And then that slides up there and it holds them nicely. As far as the battery and wrench goes, obviously I'm able to do that with this and get the job done. Oh, it's the firing pin. That's what it is. It's the batteries and the firing pin are the two things that they'll store on one of the end plates. And then as far as the oil goes, my thought is let's say if it's a poop it's the fan scenario, I look at it and go, if there's a car available, you can pop the hood and pull either the dipstick on the engine oil or the transmission oil, and you could technically get some lube on the firearm that way to keep you running and gunning if that situation were to somehow occur, you know, God forbid. But I don't do the oil because if I'm going to the range, I either already have oil along with me, or I figured there will be some form of lubricant available should the situation ever occur. So that's why I don't use that one. I just do the primary tools that I would need, or any batteries that I might need if one goes dead on me. But other than that, please drop below in the comments if you have a different pistol style grip that you're using that you really like, just to share with other viewers. Throw some different ideas out there as maybe what you're storing, why you're storing it, or how you're storing it to keep it watertight, water protected in the environments that you might be exposing your firearm to. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helps if you had questions or didn't know what to do with the space.